Hey, what's happening, everybody? It's your old pal Mr. Butter coming back at you again. Today I want to get into a pair of kicks that I actually picked up last weekend. For some reason Jordan Brand made this a women's sizing release, but fortunately for me I can fit into a women's size 12. I think this is a great pair, and we'll get into the reasons why. It is still available in most sizes. If you're into kicks and you feel like hanging out, then hit that subscribe button. Let's take a look at these Jordan 4s in the Vivid Sulfur colorway. And before we get to the kicks, I want to get some personal business out of the way. If you've noticed, I've been posting a lot less videos and I've been a lot less responsive lately. A couple weeks back, I lost my... So a couple weeks ago, I lost my best friend to cancer. He just got diagnosed with stage 4 cancer at the end of October. And in 4 months he was gone. He left behind a beautiful wife and 3 beautiful kids. From the 6th grade until now, he was my best friend in the world. And I have never grieved like this in my life. And this isn't me, you know, fishing for sympathy or anything like that. I just feel like I owe it to you all to let you know why I've been absent lately. It's been a rough couple of weeks, and I've just been spending extra time with family and kind of just focusing on what's important. Shoes are cool and everything, but when it comes to family, friends, loved ones, they don't mean anything. But all that being said, I'm just asking for your patience. Just bear with me. I'm not going anywhere, but don't take it personal if I'm slow to respond to comments, or even if I don't get around to responding. It's just been a crazy couple of weeks and I'm just dealing with it as I can. I'm not going anywhere, but I do think that there's times in life when you just have to step back and hit the pause button. I appreciate all the support. Just hang in there with me, and before we know it, we'll be back to making content all the time like normal. I can't say life will be back to normal, because I think this one will hurt for a while. God is good, and I know He's in control. I don't have to understand everything that happens, but I can rest my head knowing that I am His child. But enough of the serious stuff. Let's get into these kicks. Thank you all for hanging in there with me. Alright, getting to the box. It's a women's box. I said it before, I'll probably say it 3 more times in this video, but I don't know why they made this a women's sizing only release. I think these are dope, but it's a white box. We've got some gold branding, Jumpman, Flight, and then on the bottom we kind of have that cement print or that splatter that's in gold print as well. It's a cool looking box, but I do think the Jordan Brand tends to give this white and gold packaging to women's only releases. The tag reads Women's Air Jordan 4 Retro. The colors are white and coconut milk, although I think they advertised this as the Vivid Sulfur Jordan 4s. I went with a size 12 because typically I go for a size 10.5 men's in Jordan 4s. I got this pair straight from the sneakers app. My Finish Line didn't have these in store. Man, oh man, I'll tell you what, I love this pair. I think this is such a good pair. As soon as I got these, I listed my cement red Jordan 4s just because I have the fire red Jordan 4s, and that's actually my favorite colorway ever. But the fire reds and the cement reds were just so close together, so I basically just offloaded my pair of cement reds and replaced them with these because I don't have anything in the collection that really looks like this. I just mentioned the fire reds, and if you're familiar with that shoe, then you can tell this one has that same color blocking, just a white base upper, but it's got the dark behind that mesh on the base of the tongue and then the side panels. Instead of having fire red accents on this shoe, we just get this nice yellow color, Vivid Sulfur, whatever you want to call it. So one thing I really liked about these, obviously, is just that the color blocking is the same as the fire red Jordan 4s. When I remember watching Jordan play as a kid, Two shoes come to mind watching him play in. One is the fire red Jordan 4s. The other is the Carmine 6s. It just seems like leading up to the Dream Team era, that's when I was just absolutely crazy about Jordan. I was obsessed with watching him play, and the shoes that he wore in that era tend to hold the most nostalgia with me. The Jordan 4 is tied with the Jordan 1 for my favorite retro silhouettes of all time. I just think they're beautiful. Another thing that I really like about these is I'm a Pittsburgh fan, Pittsburgh Pirates, Pittsburgh Steelers. I have a ton of Pittsburgh gear, so whenever I saw these shoes, I thought they would be perfect to wear to PNC Park, to wear to, it used to be Heinz Field, but now it's like Acrisure Stadium or whatever you want to call it. I still call it Heinz Field. But as a kid, I grew up going to Three Rivers Stadium. I was just looking at some shirts that I have from the All-Star game in 1994. They had that at Three Rivers Stadium. My dad took my brother and I have very fond memories of that. So when you mix my favorite Jordan silhouette with colors from my favorite sports teams, and it's color blocking similar to my favorite color of my favorite silhouette, this was a no-brainer for me. I knew I was going to grab these. I don't care that it's a women's only release. Like I said, I don't know why they do that. Every time I review a pair of shoes that comes in women's sizing, I get one or two comments from simpletons saying, "That's a girl shoe," and you know, they just find it hysterical. I'm over 40 years old. I got 3 kids. I got a smoking hot wife. If you think that it concerns me one bit that they came in women's sizing, then you're sorely mistaken. But that doesn't really affect how much I like a shoe. I do think in this instance, they should have done extended women's sizing, because I think a lot of guys probably would have liked this shoe. There's nothing feminine about it. There's nothing that makes it more feminine than other Jordan 4s. Simply the sizing and the tag on the box is all that makes it a women's shoe. So I don't know if you think that's funny, or if you think that means that I'm any less masculine, that's fine. You can think whatever you want. But for me, I mean, I'm just confident enough with myself. It doesn't matter what a tag on a shoe says. It's not going to make me question my manhood. Real quick, I did want to show you, here's my pair of the Fire Reds. And of course, as I was saying, you can see that the color blocking on this shoe is exactly the same. This one does have the Nike Air on the back. I think these were from 2020, but obviously this one just has a Jumpman because this isn't an OG colorway. One thing that I didn't realize until I got these in hand is this shoe actually has black accents. But if you look at it compared to this yellow shoe, this pair has really, really dark gray. It doesn't look black like the accents we have on the Fire Reds. And whenever you don't have it next to something that's black, it does just look like it's pretty much black. But it's actually just a dark, dark gray color. I don't like or dislike that. That really doesn't make any difference to me, but I'm just pointing it out. I love the way this netting looks with white on top, but the black underneath of it. I just think that is such a cool look on these shoes. And just like I love the way this shoe looks, I really love the way this shoe looks. And the fact that I can wear it to a bunch of Pittsburgh sporting events, that makes me like it even more. But getting into the review, we can see that we have a classic Jordan 4 tread pattern. This one does have a Jumpman. It doesn't have Nike Air branding. And of course, the Fire Reds have the same tread pattern, but it does have the Nike branding on it because it's an OG. It's basically just a lot of herringbone traction, and it's all pointed in different directions. You can see that we've got some sail accents, some of that vivid sulfur, and then that dark, dark gray color. Up in the front, those stars are also in the sail color. And I heard some people complaining about the way the sail color looks with this vivid sulfur. And I guess it is kind of like a mustard yellow color, but I really like the way that looks. It doesn't look like they tried to make it aged or anything. It just looks like they went with a different color scheme than just bright white on the midsole. But a lot of my shirts and a lot of my Pirates or Steelers gear I've had since 90s or early 2000s. So a lot of it does look a little bit vintage. and it's like a little bit faded or whatever. And I really think that this cream color is really going to pull in that vintage kind of clothing, and I just think it looks great. I think it looks really nice with this sulfur and then this really dark gray and the sail mixed in. But I was really surprised whenever I heard how many people weren't feeling that sail accent on the midsole and the outsole. But I think that's a nice touch, so that makes me like the shoe even more. And apparently some people aren't feeling it, but I really like it. You can see that that sail color surrounds the visible air unit, and then directly up from that we just have some painted foam, and as I mentioned, it's just a really dark gray color. I do think that these shoes came out neat. There's no paint issues, there's no glue issues, and I really like the shape of them, so I like seeing that. On the midsole, you also get that vivid sulfur rubber wrapping up from the outsole as well. As we get to the upper of the shoe, it's just a smooth white leather. Materials aren't anything to write home about. It's not like they're really good, but at the same time, it's not that they're bad. It's just I've got 4s that have way better materials on them than this. It does seem like they're pretty thick cuts of leather. There's not a whole lot of texture to it, and it's not real buttery soft or anything, but I think it looks really nice and clean. As I noted before, we've got the netting that's white over top of the black base on the bottom of the tongue. And then we have that on the side panels where we have those ventilation areas. The basketball net accents here at the laces are in that vivid sulfur color. And you've got them at the base of the lacing system and then up here at the top as well. They only came with white laces in the shoe, but I did see some people swap them out for black laces, and I think that looks great, so I might see if I have any extra flat black laces laying around. At the top of the tongue, we have more smooth white leather, and then we've got our flight tag with the vivid sulfur Jumpman on there. On the heel, we have this plastic accent, and just like the rest of this dark color on the shoe, it's not black, it's just a dark gray, but then we have a vivid sulfur Jumpman coming off of that. We have a yellow sock liner, and it is a little bit lighter of a color than what the vivid sulfur on the rest of the shoe is. The rest of the yellow seems like it's kind of mustard, but then this yellow is just a brighter yellow. The back of the tongue says Air Jordan upside down on it. It looks like our insole is yellow to match the sock liner, and it's got a black Jumpman down on there. But that was a pretty quick look at these Jordan 4s in the vivid sulfur colorway. Let me know what you all think about them. I'm going to throw these on whenever I go and watch the Pirates play. I think on Sunday the 21st, I'm going to go see them play Boston. I think we rented a suite there at PNC Park, and it's the first time I ever did that, so that should be fun. But I'm going with a big group of buddies, and we're going to watch them play Boston. So far, the Pirates are off to a really good start. I think at the time that I'm recording this, their record is 9-3, which is really good. So it's really early in the season. I hope they can keep it up, but even if not, I'll keep rooting for them all the same. Let me know what you think about these kicks. I hope y'all have a great weekend, and I appreciate y'all watching so much. Sorry for the heavy stuff earlier, but I just wanted to bring you up to date and let you know why I've been a little bit more absent lately. I love y'all, and I hope you have a wonderful day. I'll catch you on the next one. I'm out.